What am I gonna do for Jason Momoa? Like spit in his gas tank and make his van start? I can't help him out.
I do sleep with stuffed animals, and I'm saying that on television right now.
love it.
I do.
Aaron, you said when you were young. I have a hard time following that. When you were young, are you like 30 now? Because I'm.
Lettucey gets up on stage and performs, and Michelle Obama literally, like, no, she doesn't stand, she rises. It's like a. Okay, so be honest. And when I say be honest, I mean lying is totally okay. How did I do with your song? Did you hear it?
It's awesome. I noticed that you had to change the key. It was in a girl key.
I know I'm a first soprano, man. I always have to raise everything because I can't go low. I can go high.
Yeah. God bless you for it. But yeah, it was cool. Thank you for doing that.
Oh my gosh, no, we're all such big fans. So where were you in life when you wrote It's My Life? And what does it mean to you?
For me, it was Frankie. There's a lyric in it that says, like, Frankie said I did it my way. That was from New Jersey's most famous son, Frank Sinatra. And I had just come home from doing a film in Malta and Rome called U-571. It was a World War II picture of Matthew McConaughey. Mm-hmm. And we'd come home and we were making the Crush record, and we got together to write that. And I had to fight very hard for that lyric. And Richie said to me, "What is Frankie and what does it matter?" And I says, well, because much like Frank, I'm going to make movies when I want, records when I want, and this is how I'm feeling. And I won the argument simply because I had to sing the song every night. But and that's what it stood for me. But the magic is guys like Anthony and people around the world, they said, no, Frankie is me. Frankie's my best friend. Frankie's my brother. And that's the magic of a great song, is people make it their own.
Yeah, I love the message, that you can get. That's the most interesting thing, I think, performing shows and meeting fans afterwards and anything. Everybody has their own kind of take on a song that you had a completely different idea about and why you wrote it. And I think that's what's so magical about music. So what did you think, because you mentioned Prince a minute ago, and what did you think the first time you met Prince?
Well, it's interesting because my dad at the time in the 70s, I met Prince in 77. My dad was with Santana at the time. My dad and my uncle, they played with Santana. And my dad came home and said, there's this young kid in the studio, in the same studio as us, and like he's playing all the instruments and he's producing, and it's incredible. His name is Prince. I was like, oh, I want to come by the studio, Daddy. And he's like, no, we're working, you can't come. So anyway,
boo.
I know. So next thing you know, I went to his concert the first time. So I went backstage to say hello, and he was combing his hair and he saw me and he's like, hi. And I said, oh, I want to introduce myself. He said, I already know who you are. I'm a fan. I'm following you. You're amazing.
What?
Yeah, because he saw me playing drums on television. And
That's
he's like,
amazing.
yeah, it was really cool. And so we exchanged numbers, and that was it. That was the beginning of like a long, forever relationship.
I mean, an amazing one. Is it true that you also learned new languages? Like plural, you learned more than one language, right?
So when I was very little, I did a Spanish class, and it was like a bunch of kids in a room with a teacher, and we would just speak Spanish the whole time. It was pretty much like a preschool all in Spanish. So then that place ended up closing down. So now I'm learning on an app Spanish, and then I started doing Russian over quarantine.
Because, okay, why not? So any phrases you can teach us, me and Terry?
So in Russian, you can say, so to you, I would say like, "Здравствуйте, как дела?" Which is hello, how are you?
Wait, say it again. What?
Здравствуйте, как дела?
Sounds like Godzilla. Is that what he said, Godzilla?
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, let me jump in here. Aaron, you said when you were young. I have a hard time following that. When you were young. Are you like 30 now? Because I'm...
How old are you now, Ian?
I'm 12.
12 years old.
Oh,
he's already learned 2
stupid
languages.
me.
I'm just saying, we're behind the curve, Terry. I have to say this because we performed together and you are flawless and it was incredible, and I was like, I usually don't get intimidated on a stage, and I was.
Whatever,
And I was. And here's the thing too though. I actually went to the inaugural ball after because I sang.
Really?
Yes, and you performed there.
Yes, I did.
And I didn't know you were going to be there. And first of all, I felt like such a, like, what am I doing here? I'm in a ball gown at something called an inaugural ball. Like, I felt like Pretty Woman in that store. Like, I did not belong. And like all this, it's like a very fancy event. And I just felt so fish out of water. And me and my husband at the time were just kind of like, yeah, we're just going to pretend like we're blending in, like with all these like, you know, DC elite, like, and all of a sudden you came out and I was like, I love her. I was like, wait, she's performing? And then everyone was so stiff in the room, y'all, until Ledisi gets up on stage and performs, and Michelle Obama literally, like, no, she doesn't stand, she rises. Like she rises, and literally the entire room changed. Like everybody went, oh, okay, cool. And so everyone had such a great time. You brought the best vibe to that whole night. It changed the whole night.
But you do the same thing.
No, I
for
do
us.
not. I don't make people rise. I make them clap. It's fine. But
It was so intense in the room, so I had to change it up because I was
did.
like, this should be a celebration, not something dark. This is exciting. You know, let's lift the room.
But it was interesting,
that was
though, because
beautiful,
she
though. I can't believe you remember all that.
remembered it. I was like, it was a moment. So it has been a crazy ride, though, emotionally for all of us. You know, and everything's been relevant for everyone's world. So have you listened to any music that's kind of helped you, like, because you're so musical?
You know what, Kelly, I've listened to everybody and everybody's new stuff. I was getting ready for my tour, which abruptly stopped. And
Which sucks, I'm sorry.
It's okay, thank you. You know, it's funny, this whole thing has brought perspective, hadn't it? It's like, when my tour? Well, or I could just be here and be alive and get through this. There's a song I do at the end of my song called Reasons for Hope that my girl Crystal Monet Hall from Broadway and Mary Mitchell Campbell, my conductor, wrote, and it's called Reasons for Hope. And I'll just sing 2 lines of it so you guys get the gist. It's, we got reasons for hope, reasons to sing. We can bring everyone together, show them the best things we have are who we are. We need to unite with courage and love. Remember that faith can move mountains. When things seem dark, we see reasons for hope. That's the song that's been getting me through it.
I love that.
I wish I'd written it.
Oh my gosh, I know, but you sing it. We're the vessel sometimes, not the rider, just the vessel. And that's it's not even just it's a beautiful thing to have people trust you with their message.
Yeah, and you want to nail it.
And what a great one, Hope. Like, there's so much darkness.
There is.
Julie, you shared a great story about Carol Burnett and a prank. So can you tell everyone what that was?
I think the prank you must be referring to, it will take too long to go into big detail, but Carol and I were waiting for our friend Mike Nichols to arrive at a benefit that we were both doing. We decided, as the evening got later and later and he didn't show, we decided to go down the hall of the hotel and meet him at the elevator. It was Lyndon Johnson's inaugural, so the hotel was pretty packed, but at that hour it was quite quiet. And we decided to sit on a sofa in front of the elevators and wait for Mike. Carol and I swear I don't remember which one of us decided that we would do something silly when Mike got out of the elevator. So one of us said, well, let's be kissing or something. So I flung her across my lap, the big embrace, and the elevator went ping, and we thought it must be Mike, and the doors opened, and that elevator was simply packed with Secret Service men. And oh my God, it went on and on. The elevator kept going ping, and there was always somebody coming out of it. Eventually, a lady got out. Carol swears it was Lady Bird Johnson. The lady went down the hall and realized that it might be us, and she came back. By this time, Carol was laughing so hard that she went round the back of the sofa we were sitting on because we both had tears running down our faces at being so silly. And the lady came and looked over the back of the sofa and said, "Excuse me, are you Carol Burnett?" And immediately Carol said, Yes, and this is my friend Mary Poppins, she said. So it was a great moment, it really was.
Oh my gosh, I love that story. And reading that about people, you know, we love you. So we love those inside stories, and that's why it's so cool, Emma, that you pulled those out. Well, Fortune, you went on a road trip as well, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, my partner and I went on a road trip to Arizona at a show out there. There she is. Yeah. And we were driving. You have to go through the desert to get to Phoenix because we were not ready to fly during these times.
Yeah.
And I spot these two big vans on the side of the interstate, like, broken down, and there's like I said, middle of nowhere. There's only like a prison, and that's it. And I see this like super buff dude. He's got a man bun. He's shirtless, and he has these crazy black and white striped pants on. And I'm like, did some hot guy escape from prison? What's happening? And I can't see his face. He's in the van trying to fix the van. And we just passed by in like 5 seconds. And I turn to my partner, and I'm like, man bun, shirtless, ripped, crazy pants. I was like, I think that was Jason Momoa. And we got to a gas station like 30 minutes later. I'm like, I'm just gonna look at his Insta story. If anything happens to a celebrity, they Insta story it. And there he was on the side of the road. It was Jason Momoa, shirtless, man bun, crazy pants. He's like, my van broke down in the desert. And I posted it, and every straight woman alive was like, why didn't you stop? And I'm like, what am I gonna do for Jason Momoa? Like spit in his gas tank and make his van start? I can't help him out. He was fine. He was on the road like 30 minutes later. But I, ladies, spotted Jason Momoa from just his body.
God, I love
Come on, that's
well,
pretty
he's
impressive.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
So it's spottable. It's like, you know.
It was a Momoa mirage.
Yes, not many people look like that. So I think that's why. They don't just come out like that generally.
No.